welcome to this week's video, the first video of 2023. So a happy new year to everyone. Coming up in this week's video, my lyric prompting. I realise I can't play a guitar solo whilst coughing. And how this seemingly innocent bit of video helped me solve a mystery. So this is the first video of 2023 and I'm going to start by showing you one of my Christmas presents. Now, I got a guitar case for Christmas. I've had this guitar case for about 10 to 15 years, a Ritter case, and I can't really complain about the way it's served me, but eventually all the, well, actually this went years ago, the zip went, I've had to sew it and put a safety pin on it. This zip's starting to go and the headstock has chewed away at the inside of the case, so it was time to get a new one. So I got myself one of these. This is a mono Vertigo. This is the top of the range one. They do three. They do a sleeve, they do an M80, I think it is the middle one, and this is the top of the range one. It's got this bit on the bottom that protects the bottom of the case, and it's got this design here that holds the neck in place on both sides. Now, this is a money saving tip. I've managed to save money here because after I got this, and I've been planning on doing this for a long time, I need also a gig bag for my 335. It doesn't fit in the Ritter one, I don't think, and I didn't think it would fit in this one, but I looked at it, I thought, well, that looks just about wide enough. I put it in, hey presto, it fits. Now, I wouldn't recommend like bunging it in the back of a van or in a plane with it, because it does push right to the outside of the case, which probably makes the guitar a bit vulnerable, whereas when you've got a Strat or a Telecaster in here, then it's quite away from the edges, so it's very well protected. But if I'm just carrying it and putting it in my car and being gentle with it, then I don't have to buy another guitar case, which also solves the problem of finding somewhere to put another empty guitar case. But anyway, very pleased with this. I've got a mono pedal board case, which I've had for years as well, and that has lasted. It's got some rips on it, but it's done thousands of gigs, as has the Ritter guitar case. So very pleased with this. I did 2 gigs between Christmas and New Year's Eve. Now the first one is a regular venue I play at. I've shown it many times before on here. It's the Black Lion in Brighton. But on this occasion, the bass player and the singer couldn't make it, so we had a different bass player called Marcus, and I stepped up to vocal duties, which I have done before and I've shown on my videos before. This first clip I'm going to show you is someone took some video from the audience. It was quite nice to hear the balance, because you can't, from my camera that I clipped to the side of the speaker, you can't always hear the vocals, but it was quite nice hearing it from out the front. So here's a little clip of Summer of '69, just so you can hear what it sounded like in the room. This next clip, this is from my GoPro, not from some of the audience, and you can see that my Milkman amp is pointing directly at the camera and it sounds a bit harsh. And this brings me on to another issue that I discovered on this gig. If you can see, I'm wearing my moulded in-ears, which also have a filter in them, so that enables me to be able to use them in this situation. All I've got in those is my vocal, and I'm hearing the rest of the band just through the filters in the plugs, which is good, which if they were completely isolated I wouldn't be able to do that, which is part of the reason why I got these ones. So if you haven't got a full proper PA with everything mic'd up, I can still use them and they still work well for monitoring vocals. The only thing is they sound different to my other earplugs, and I still haven't got used to getting the level right with the rest of the band. And a few songs in, Lewis the drummer said to me, "Oh, could you turn your guitar amp down? It's absolutely killing me," and I was miles too loud because I wasn't able to judge it. So there we are, lesson learnt. I shall turn it down next time. But I can hear from this it's a bit harsh sounding as well, because I'm not used to the sound with these earplugs in. So it's partly the amp pointing directly at the camera, and partly because I haven't got the sound right.
next clip is a solo in Lovely Day, and I just want to show you this, just to show that I still haven't got tired of the novelty of the harmoniser when I'm playing a song in E major, the harmoniser on my Eventide H9, so that's the only reason I'm showing this one. Last clip I'm going to show you of this gig. This was another bit of footage shot from the audience. Someone videoed it, and I managed to combine it with the footage from my camera, so I thought it came out quite well. And this sounds really good. This is a really good sound. I was so pleased with how the band sounded out the front, the balance and everything, how clear the whole thing holds together, and the vocals are on top, because it's difficult to tell sometimes when you're behind it, when you don't have a sound man, but it sounded really good. I was very pleased. It was a really good gig. I thought it was going to be quiet, as it was Twixtmas, which apparently is between Christmas and New Year, but it was a fantastic gig, probably the busiest one of the year, so it was a shame it wasn't the full band, but I think we did a reasonable job with me standing in on the vocals. Anyway, this is Kiss, also demonstrating my tight Christmas underpants. Then on to my New Year's Eve gig. Now this gig was a very nice place. It was actually a wedding venue who were throwing a New Year's Eve party. And like a lot of these venues, they appear to be out in the middle of nowhere, but it only takes one neighbour who can hear the music in that venue to complain, and the venue has to have a sound limiter fitted. Now this venue had the most restrictive sound limiter I've ever experienced. There was a few weeks ago I showed a video where we had to use an electronic drum kit because of a sound limiter. This one was even more restricted. They provided an electronic drum kit to ensure that you used it. Not only that, you have to use their PA system. All you get is two sockets on the wall, so you take two leads out of your desk, plug them in, and it goes through their system, which limits all the sound and puts it through the house speakers. And there are actually two more inputs that you can take two monitor outputs of your desk, plug them into the wall, and then you've got two monitor speakers coming back out the wall that they plug into two monitors that they provide. And actually you're not even supposed to have an amp on this gig, but they didn't tell us that before we arrived, so we did have a bass amp and a guitar amp, but everything else is going through the PA, and it's all restricted. I think it was 92 decibels for the limit, so everything is going through the system so it can be completely controlled and the level brought down exactly where it needs to be so you don't annoy the neighbour. So we adhered to all this. In actual fact, it was quite enjoyable playing at that level. We could really hear everything that was going on. But what was peculiar is the owner and the staff at the venue kept coming to ask us to turn it up because it wasn't loud enough. At which point we had to say, well, we can't, because we're going through your system, which is turning us back down again if we turn up. So I put the faders right to the top, and it didn't make any difference because the system turned it back down. So I think we're so rock and roll, we were the only band to be constantly asked to turn up all night. So this first clip I'm going to show you, this is the song How Long by Ace. It's a bit of a solo here, but you can hear probably that my amp isn't working very hard. I've got a couple of drive pedals on to boost the front end to get a bit of a solo-y sound. But actually, as I say, it was really enjoyable playing at that volume, and I quite like the sound of the guitar as it is, but I think you can hear that it's not really working very hard. So this is How Long.
Is
Now this next clip, I'm going to show it to you for two reasons. Firstly, that I've actually used my H9 for something proper, rather than just silly novelty sounds. I think I'm maturing somewhat. And we played Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, and it's got that kind of chorusy guitar intro, so I set up a similar sound and used it for that. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased with myself. I seem to be actually using it for what it should be used for, probably. But the second reason I want to show you this is you can hear Barry on the drums. He's playing the hi-hat pattern, that kind of 12/8 thing. And you can hear the stick on the rubber pad above the level of the whole band, just to give you an idea of how quiet it was. So check those two things out in this clip. Now this next clip, Dave on bass, who's standing next to me, he sings Sweet Home Alabama. He just sings it very well, and they do the guitar solo after the first chorus, and it's going on longer than I'm expecting, and he's looking at me like this, blankly, and I thought, I know that look, I've had it many times myself. Can't remember the words to the second verse, and luckily, because I sing that one as well, I was able to prompt him, because luckily we didn't both forget it at the same time, so I just thought it was quite funny, me prompting mid-song. This next clip, I can't actually remember this happening, but I think what's happening here is I'm about to cough. I've had this cough now probably 4 months. It's something that's going around. Loads of people have got it. In fact, some doctor surgeries, you phone them up, they leave an automated message on the answer phone when you ring up saying, if you've got a cough that's been going on for ages, don't bother telling us, everybody's got it. So I'm not too concerned. I've been to the doctor, had chest x-rays, and it's all clear, but I still have the odd coughing fit, and I had one when I was playing the solo here. It made me realise I can't cough and play a guitar solo at the same time. So I'm obviously holding back the cough while I'm playing, and then at the end I have a good old to get rid of whatever was causing it. So there we are. I thought I'd show this because it made me laugh while I was watching it. Right, this next clip I'm going to show you, this isn't a guitar solo, this is to show you a bit of detective work I did. On the gig I managed to lose a cable. It was this cable, I don't know if you've seen these, it's for an iPhone that doesn't have a headphone socket. You come out of the lightning socket into a standard headphone socket, so I use that for the lead that goes into the PA. And I had to use this lead in the sound check because my iPad wouldn't work where I normally play the music from because it wasn't on the Wi-Fi. Later on, once I got it on the Wi-Fi, I unplugged this off the lead because I wasn't using my phone, and I put it somewhere, and then the day after the gig I thought, where's that little lead? And I couldn't find it anywhere, and it's been really annoying me. Anyway, earlier when I was editing, going through the videos of the gig, I watched myself unplugging this lead from the back, and I was thinking, I wonder where I put it. And I took this lead, and as I took it off, I put it in the back pocket of my jeans. Now I thought I might have done, but I wasn't 100% certain. I'd already looked in the jeans that I'd taken off, and I'd already looked in my suit bag that I'd put the jeans in afterwards to see if it had fallen out. To no avail. Couldn't find it anywhere. It was very frustrating. So I'm watching this, and when I see that I put that in my pocket, I thought, I've definitely put that in my pocket, so I'm going to pursue that in Columbo style. So what I did, I thought to myself, well, I've checked it. I checked everywhere again, of course, and then I thought, I wonder if when I hung it up
in the wardrobe, hung the jeans up in the wardrobe, that fell out. Sure enough, there it was in the bottom of the wardrobe. Can't believe how much pleasure that's given me, finding that using video evidence. Anyway, very exciting, or is it just nerdy? Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy New Year to you. I shall continue to release videos on a Friday, 7 PM UK time. Please hit subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment. I do like to get a comment, have a bit of a chat about things. So yes, please tune in next week, 7 PM on Friday, and I hope to see you then.